this is Jamie from Capsule Computers, and today we are reviewing Borderlands 3. This title from 2K and Gearbox is available now for PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. At the time of the recording of this video, the game cost $59.99 US or $99.95 Australian. It has been 5 years since we've seen a new Borderlands FPS title. Borderlands 3 is now upon us, offering 4 new Vault Hunters, the return of fan-favorite characters from the entire franchise. 5 years of development has also brought modernized game mechanics, including plenty of quality-of-life changes. The story picks up soon after the events of the new Borderlands 2 Commander Lilith and the Fight for Sanctuary DLC and the Tales from the Borderlands adventure game. The children of the Vault cult, led by the twins Tyreen and Troy Calypso, are now quickly absorbing or destroying the bandits in the Borderlands. Lilith recruits 4 new Vault Hunters to beat the Calypso twins to the vaults in hope of stopping the cult from completely taking over the galaxy. The story is very much on course for the franchise. It's a story with a clear villain, with plenty of off-color ridiculous humor and pop culture references piled on top. The humor hasn't matured too much over the years, although the characters and the world have. It's a little bit weird how Borderlands 3 treats the galaxy's corporations. Certain companies are now being treated with a slightly kinder, more human light, while others are still portrayed negatively in Borderlands' satirical and cutting manner. The choice does make sense within the context of the story, but it feels a little out of place based on the previous 3 FPS titles. The plot is an enjoyable ride, although the Calypso twins fail to be as entertaining as Handsome Jack. Tyreen Calypso does an excellent job parodying the social media queens that have carved niches on YouTube and Instagram, but she lacks Handsome Jack's charisma and ridiculous sense of humor. The story does feel like a big family reunion after all these years, as almost every major character makes their return to the game. Borderlands 3 feels more like the jump between the first and second titles. Granted, Borderlands the pre-sequel was more of a standalone expansion pack extended into a full retail release, as almost all the mechanics from 2 were left in place. The most noticeable change to Borderlands 3 is the new action skill system. Instead of a single action skill in the previous 3 FPS games, the Vault Hunters have 3 action skills to choose from. Each skill is associated with one of the 3 skill trees for the Vault Hunter. 2 active skill modifiers are unlocked with each skill tier, and each Vault Hunter has its own combination of active skills and active skill modifier slots. The new system is more interesting, as different playstyles are more distinct compared to the previous games. At the same time, the skills are generally weapon agnostic, preventing Vault Hunters from being stuck with one weapon type. The movement system has been modernized with slides and mantling. The slide function isn't nearly as important as more tactical FPSs, but it still has some fun use cases like punting explosive barrels at enemies. The mantle function feels more at home in a Borderlands game. There's always been some jumping puzzles in the franchise. Much like Claptrap and Stairs, jumping puzzles are my mortal enemy. I found the mantling system was a lot easier to use, as it was a little more generous when it came to nailing the landing. It also allows snipers to get up to high perches in a hurry so they can fire unimpeded on the enemy while their shotgun-toting friends rush into the fray. The subtle quality of life changes Borderlands 3 introduces is fantastic, bringing the game up to modern standards. Players can choose between an instant cooperation mode where each player gets their own loot and enemies are scaled appropriately to their level. The traditional Borderlands experience is still available, though, through the co-op petition mode. Ammunition and health are automatically looted if necessary, which is a huge time saver. Additionally, gamers can finally ditch the Halo-style vehicle controls for something a little more traditional. Borderlands has been known for its wild variety of guns. Each manufacturer has always had a guiding design principle, whether it's Malawan's focus on elemental damage or Vladov's emphasis on low damage and high rate of fire. Borderlands 3 takes it up a notch by further differentiating manufacturers with a variety of secondary abilities. Some of them are pretty normal, like Jacob's ability to ricochet on a crit, while others are just off the wall, like TDR's guns with legs. The new special abilities make choosing the right manufacturer for your gun a meaningful decision. The overall balance is a work in progress. While Malawan and Zane were a touch underpowered at launch, a quickly released balancing patch addressed some of the early issues. While I don't expect every RPG to be balanced perfectly at launch, Borderlands 3 was pretty playable in terms of balance right out of the gate. The level and mission designs are generally straightforward and entertaining. Collectibles are easy to discover as they're marked clearly on the map, but require solving the jumping puzzles to access usually. The mission puzzles are even more generous, as NPCs will start giving out more obvious hints as the player continues to struggle. Extra loot is available for players who are willing to complete optional objectives or explore side areas. There are plenty of boss fights with some interesting mechanics, although few ever become as complicated as an MMORPG. Instead, the boss difficulty tends to hit the right spot where mechanics provide an extra challenge to longtime FPS players without being overwhelming. The PC port is where Borderlands 3 really struggles. The game is plagued with bugs big and small, from random elemental effects never disappearing from the screen to quest givers bugging out and breaking the quest. I suspect a few more weeks of debugging would have helped, but Gearbox now has a busy post-launch schedule full of bug stomping. While Gearbox has continued its tradition of PC ports, offering fantastic support for all the graphical options for PC users, they also utterly fail at everything else. The menus are mostly designed for consoles. Inputting commands is keyboard heavy with absolutely no right-click options in sight. While it was nice to see an option for changing controller keybinds, the keyboard situation is an absolute mess for those of us not using a QWERTY keyboard. Menu navigation and push-to-talk are completely hard-coded. Options for changing vehicle control styles is broken, and it is currently impossible to change the air control and vehicle control keys, something that shares the same keys by default. Then there are smaller annoyances like unnecessarily switching the order of quit to menu and quit to desktop buttons while in game and in the title screen. I am completely disappointed in the Borderlands 3 PC port after Borderlands 2 easily earned itself the title of one of the best PC ports of its time. Visually, Borderlands 3 is looking great. The game is still sporting its signature cel-shaded graphics. Leaving Pandora means players are finally treated to a more diverse set of environments than the dusty, bandit-ridden Borderlands. The new planets offer a great variety of sights and sounds, from the dense cityscape of Promethea to the murky backwaters swamps of Eden 6. It is also nice to see that the planets come with their own set of monsters. The audio experience is top-notch. The soundtrack is a great mix of traditional video game scores and rock songs. The sound effects have improved significantly over Borderlands 2. The guns have a lot more punch to them and sound very realistic. The voice acting is also excellent. While it's a shame that some of the beloved voice actors were not able to reprise their roles, their replacements keep the quality high. Borderlands 3 is a fantastic FPS. The story is solid even if the Calypso twins aren't the most lovable villain. The gameplay is a significant improvement over previous titles, and the audiovisual presentation is top-notch. The PC port is a little more disappointing. If you plan on using the default keybinds, you will avoid most of the frustration. However, the Borderlands 3 PC port still has plenty of room for improvement. So I'm awarding Borderlands 3 8.5 capsules out of 10. If you want to read this review, be sure to check out the link in the description or in the video's card. I hope to see you soon. This is Jamie from Capsule Computers signing off. Hey YouTube, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and subscribe to Capsule Computers for more awesome videos. If you're looking for more videos to watch, check out our review of Children of Morta here on the left. If you're looking for another FPS, check out our review of Void Bastards here on the right.